Welcome to that Heartbreak Hogs podcast. If you are new here, please consider hitting that thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. Please comment down below your thoughts on our takes. And with that being said, we are going to head into the video that you came here for. Welcome back to that Heartbreak Hogs podcast. Sid, let's talk about the quarterback situation here. Um, Singleton has hit the portal, and Taylon Green, at this moment, we have not heard what he's going to do. There's rumors floating around that he has gotten $1 million deal and will be staying. We have a new 4-star quarterback. Madden is his name. I do not know how to pronounce his last name correctly, so we're just going to call him Madden. But he's Nico's brother, Nico from Tennessee. Um, yeah, let's just kind of get into it a little bit. I'm kind of curious, if Talon stays, I'm curious thinking, I, I just feel like that he's hit his ceiling. Um, I think that he's been in college football long enough where he's formed habits and he has a way of doing things that as a freshman you can kind of make adjustments and make changes, and you can grow the individual, the player. I just kind of feel like Talon has hit his ceiling, and we saw his ceiling this year. I don't think that there's a whole lot of room to improving his passing game. His habits of running the wrong directions and putting pressure on his offensive line to block for him because he's running in these weird directions. I'm not trying to hate on the guy. I'm just being real about it. I thought that he was really athletic. He was super fun to watch at times whenever he would escape and he would run for big gains. Every now and then he would also have just incredible throws, but then it would have kind of a scratch your head throw afterwards. Or he couldn't read, uh, or he couldn't go through his progressions. And I just, to me at least, I think that it would be more beneficial to start with a freshman and build off of him, get him in there, get him some experience with the system, and go from there, than continuing on with a guy that has 1 year left of eligibility, who you may have already seen his ceiling. Why not bring somebody up and work their way up and mold him to be your guy, you know, like uh like Madden, in my opinion.
So I've got a few opinions on this. We'll start with Taylon Green.
Yeah.
And for Taylon Green, I don't know about the whole $1 million deal or whatever, but for
Yeah,
me,
those are just rumors.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't
for
know.
him for me to get him to, like, I guess, stay on this team for next year, um, it really is gonna be on his ego. I think if he thinks he deserves to be a starter next year just because of his seniority, and Bobby P recruited him and whatnot.
Yeah.
If he is not able to set his ego aside, I think that's going to be a huge problem.
Mhm.
Because I think looking into Madden and seeing how he's performed, and then I think there's going to be competition, and I think competition is always good. I
Yeah.
don't necessarily agree that we need to put Madden in completely. He's the guy. He's the all savior that this team needs. Um, but I will say the kid looks good, and he, I mean, as long as he's also ready to commit, I mean, commit to competition,
Yeah.
um, it's going to be interesting to see because I saw he's bringing like we signed him, he committed. He also, is
He's
bringing
bringing
his,
his
wide receiver,
receiver.
right, Jace
Mhm.
Brown. Um, I don't know, it's interesting to see, like, as a freshman, if he thinks he's all that. The reason why he committed, I mean, is it because he's that competitive where, hey, Arkansas beat Tennessee, this year, his brother plays on Tennessee, he wants to play in the SEC, he wants to compete with his brother, year after year, while his brother remains, eligible as well. I don't know. It's interesting to see because of that rivalry, or if he's just why he came here. But as far as Taylor Green goes, if he wants to stay, I don't have any problem with him staying. I do have a problem with our coaching decisions in him starting or not if he's not
Right.
good enough. If he wants to
Right.
stay, I mean, he's good enough to stay. He's good enough to be a Razorback quarterback. I don't
Right.
know if he's good enough to be a starter.
That's a good point. Yeah, because that's the thing is we need a quarterback competition because
Mhm.
it seemed like that it was Talon's job whenever he got here instead of there
Yeah.
being a real competition, and there seemed to be for whatever reason a hesitancy to take him out. And I
Yes.
don't know what the reason for that hesitancy. We can only speculate. But it makes you wonder, is it because of the NIL deals? Is it because of people investing all this money saying that they want a return off of their investment and they're like, "Hey, we spent all this money on this guy. We want him playing." I don't know. But I
Yeah,
did feel like there was a hesitancy and it was like, why are we not trying other avenues here?
for sure. And I do wish that happened this year, and it needs to happen this year. And I mean, it's interesting too also that, like, Madden, I saw his number. His number is 10. He likes to wear the number 10. Bobby P recruited him. Talon loves to
Oh
wear number
yeah.
10. Bobby P recruited him. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's like a hint at, hey, there's going to be a competition. Who's going to be the better player?
Mm.
We also signed another quarterback. This one's out of, um, I forgot exactly where, from Arkansas, but I saw a video of him just, he didn't know about the Madden
Yeah,
commit.
yeah, he
And
didn't know. It's
he
like
was caught off
I
guard.
was told that they were not looking for any additional quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, right. That's got to
Yeah.
be interesting too with, us recruiting in Arkansas, where no one's job is
Right.
really safe, and high school coaches what they think about it. But, um, in terms of that, I mean, I liked his answer. He was like, he was caught off guard, to be fair to him, and he was just like, as his ending to the answer was like, I mean, I don't care who's there. It's going to be a competition. It was going to be a competition no matter what.
Right.
So we'll see what happens. And I agree with that. And if maybe he is, another guy that can be thrown in the mix as well. I just
Mhm.
want our coaching staff to realize and give the opportunity to everyone and see who is the better player, instead of, and we should be doing this off season when we are kind of getting them, I don't know, kind of deciding on what to do with our future. Um, Instead of, hey, we're gonna ride with Taylor and these guys are gonna sit behind him, and then we're just gonna continue, not giving other kids opportunities. And then that's what happens with what's it's gonna happen with what happened with Singleton. He's gonna go somewhere else. Um,
Right.
it's just, if you're good enough, great. But if you're not great enough, there's somebody better than you. We want to
Mhm.
know.
We want to
Like,
know.
Talon
That's
is
a
was
really
good
good way of
enough.
putting it. Mhm.
Talon was good enough, but if we never found out if Malachi was great
Right.
enough,
Right. We
um,
don't really know.
and we'll never know
Right.
now. So I
Yeah.
hope they change
But
that
you're
up
saying
with.
that he was good enough to be in that position
Mhm.
to at least compete to get the job. Like he was a competitor for the job.
Right.
And you're
He kept us
yeah,
in games. He
right.
did his job. He kept us in games. Did he make mistakes? Say repeatedly, like the same mistakes, and yes. But did you see his talent come from the screen? Absolutely. I mean, you
Right.
saw when he was on a streak and he was feeling confident. I mean, the kid could do
A lot of stuff,
a
yeah.
lot of stuff. I mean, move around the
Mhm.
pocket, and he was just there. But there is that ifs about him where he wasn't making adjustments throughout the season. We've kept all season talking about those. I kept talking about every single game. Hey, he needs to kind of look around the pocket, like stay in the pocket, be confident. I mean, I
Right.
understand our O line is has a factor in that, but at a not every single play. And I think once you lose your confidence and ability in even your receivers, you can't look to every receiver or whatnot. It just falls apart. And so he was
Yeah.
good enough to keep us in these games to keep it short, but I want to see something better. And maybe he improves next year because of this competition. Maybe he doesn't, but at least it's there. And um, I'm glad we were able to sign Madden. And I mean, he's a top 20 recruit in the nation. So
Yeah.
um, it'll be cool to see what he can do as well.
Yeah. We'll just have to kind of see what happens. Yeah,
The one
I
last thing
hope.
was,
Mhm.
the one last thing with Madden was though, um, is that ego gonna come with him as well? Where, hey, I'm not getting a chance to play. I'm
I'm
not
out of
playing.
here.
I'm out of here
Yeah.
immediately. I don't think
Yep.
he'll wait around as long as Malachi will did.
I think
So
he'll wait 1 year, but if he
yeah,
doesn't get it next year, I think he may be gone.
right. So
Or not next year, but the year after.
2026.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right. Um,
yeah.
but
I mean,
man, he can sling it, and that's
yeah.
what's refreshing to see because we wanted a more passing type of quarterback that could throw the ball. Again,
Hmm.
nothing. I'm not trying to hate on Talon. I'm just saying that there were some stuff that I just don't know how much of that you can fix over an off season, and for it to be that much better for how old this guy is, how long he's already been in, the league and whatnot. But it was
True.
refreshing to see that, Madden, he can scramble, he can use his legs, not as well as Talon. Talon's legs are better,
Yeah.
but Madden can throw that ball. And there was a breakdown by SEC. I forgot what it's called.
Mm.
Um, Power Hour SEC. That's it. And he did a great job of just breaking down some of his film, and it was just like, dude, that ball was thrown perfectly. He was able to time when the
Yeah.
defenders would be there, things like that, and it was just like, man, um, he's got some skills, and we'll have to just wait and see. High school
Because
looking
he's got a lot
film.
of unknowns too, right?
Mm-hmm.
And with that unknowns, it's gonna come on. We can't hype him up too much
Right.
right now, where he's not playing his senior year. We have
Yep.
what we see, what
And
the
we all
tape
know what
is right
happens when
now.
you hype him up too much.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure.
So
So
this
he
guy's
looks
gonna
great.
suck.
Yeah,
Like, just say this guy's gonna suck, man, and then we'll all be surprised, and
yeah.
he'll be really good, right?
I mean, I want him to be competitive, no ego. It's asking a lot.
Yeah.
Um, so
Oh man.
we will see if he's able to. I mean, if he's able to remain competitive without having an ego. If for some reason we start Taylor Green ahead of him, and again, there's gonna be a competition before the season starts, and
Yep. Don't just
um,
hand over the keys again. Make sure
exactly
there's a competition, and this competition continues through the whole year, not just
right.
the beginning of the season, the whole year. That it's like,
Yeah.
if a change needs to be made, make the change or
Hmm.
see what happens or create a spark. DJ Williams talked about this is he said that, he was having a rough game and he got pulled. And I think it was Chris Gregg. He played in place of DJ for a little bit, and then DJ got his opportunity again, and he made sure he wasn't going to lose it. So
Yeah.
that can also be a motivator to, if you let that other guy go in, and then maybe you get your opportunity again because he doesn't, fulfill his end. You're back in, and you're like, I'm keeping this spot.
Yeah.
and it gives you more motivation and it gives you a new focus. So that's good to have that competition.
And this could happen in season, but ideally, we figure this out before the season starts and
Right.
who's better. But of course, as the season starts and we get to see him in game play,
Right.
we'll know more, and then yeah, be ready to, or be able to kind of change it up. If you're starting Madden first game and he's not doing too well, be okay with taking him out, putting Taylor back in, like, and vice versa, right? It's just the off season. Be prepared to kind of and do the best to train up these guys, and then have them compete against each other and find out who really can thrive under pressure before the season even starts.
Yep. Well, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, um, and just see what this team looks like after
And I'm rooting
portal
for
season
Grayson too.
too.
I know we mentioned Madden.
Yeah.
If he stays, I'm yeah, rooting for
Yeah, who
him as
knows,
well.
man? We may be sleeping on old Grayson, man. He may
Yeah,
have a fire under him now, and he's gonna come in there and be the next Tyler Wilson. I mean, who
exactly.
knows, man? So
So
I think with that being said, I think we're gonna head out of here and head on to the next segment. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really do appreciate it. Again, please consider hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and commenting down below. We'll see you guys in the next video.